Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the 1006 meeting, regular meeting of council. First item on the agenda is closed session portion of the meeting. May I have a mover and seconder to go into closed session under the authorities as printed in the agenda? Councillor Smith, Councillor Gladden. All in favor? Motion is carried. We will see you at 7 o'clock. Thank you. Call to order. Time being 7 o'clock. I'd like to call this meeting to order. Council approved the session minutes from May 21 and discussed legal matters under solicitor client privilege and acquisition and disposition of land in closed session. We will be going back into closed session after the regular scheduled meeting. Okay. First order on the agenda is the territorial acknowledgement. I'd like to have a moment of silence following the acknowledgement. Council, Township of Red Rock hereby acknowledge that we are on the traditional territory of the Robinson Superior Treaty and that the land we gather on is home to the Red Rock Indian Band, the Anishinaabe, and the Métis people. Thank you. 3.3, administration advises that there are no amendments to the agenda. Do any members of council wish to make amendments to the agenda? Can I have a mover and seconder for a motion to approve agenda as presented? All right. Gladden and Smith. All in favor? Okay. Are there any declarations of interest to disclose? See none? All right. Up first is 4.1. Tonight we have Farah joining us to present the final results of the Food Cycler pilot project. Welcome, Farah.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for having me here this evening. I am going to share my screen so we can go through the presentation. So bear with me just one moment. Can everyone see my screen? Wonderful. So my name is Farah Sheriffdeen, and I am the Municipal Program Coordinator here at Food Cycle Science. And I'm here to present the results of the pilot project for the Township of Red Rock. Before we look at your results, I wanted to give you a quick recap of our company and who we are. We're a Canadian company based out of Ottawa, 100% focused on food waste diversion solutions using our innovative technology called the Food Cycler. 2022 and 2023 were really big years for us. We were selected as finalists in Impact Canada's Food Waste Reduction Challenge. And I would like to acknowledge that your municipality's Food Cycler program was made possible in part due to the federal funding from this program. And as a company, we're really proud to say that as of today, we are the trusted food waste solution for over 130 municipal partners across Canada. And we want to acknowledge and thank you for your willingness to trial an innovative solution to the long-standing problem that is food waste. So as I mentioned, with support from Impact Canada's Food Waste Reduction Challenge, your pilot program was run and included 31 participating households. The net cost to the township was $3,100 plus shipping and HST, and your program ran from January to April of this year, where you can track the change waste diversion, and your residents completed a survey to provide the data and feedback that we will go over now. So we were able to collect 23 responses from your 31 participants, which is a 74% response rate, which is really great. And you'll see that the first two questions here really give you an idea of the importance of greenhouse gas reduction and waste reduction in your community. Greenhouse gas reduction was rated an 8 out of 10, and waste reduction was rated 10 out of 10. And when we asked your residents where their food waste went prior to using their Food Cycler, a large majority, 82%, said that their food waste was going into the garbage. A smaller number of your residents indicated that they were able to compost all year or really only able to do so during the spring to summer months. So when we asked your residents why they didn't compost, 79% of your residents chose not to do so because of concerns about animals like bears and raccoons. A large number of your residents also reported concerns about odors, maintenance, and space. These answers are very much in line with a lot of the data that we've collected in our municipal programs, and the food cycler really does pose a great solution for these issues because it's easy to use, it's odor-free, and the byproduct prevents those wildlife encounters. And when we look at the split of devices, you had about a 60-40 split between the FC30s and the Maestros or the Eco5s. And based on the data collected, your residents ran an average of 3.24 cycles per week on their FC30s and an average of 2.36 cycles per week on their Maestros or their Eco5s. So this is equivalent to 195 kilograms of food waste per year per household being diverted using the food cycler. And this works out to about 6 metric tons of food waste being diverted. The 31 food cyclers are also going to be able to divert 7.8 metric tons of CO2 equivalents per year, which is about 9.1 acres of forest being able to sequester carbon every year. And when we asked your residents about the number of standard garbage bags they were generating prior to using their food cycler, your residents were generating about 2.45 standard garbage bags. And after using their food cycler, they were generating about 1.53. So this results in your residents having been able to generate 0.92 fewer of 47.8 garbage bags per household per year that is not going to be trucked to your local landfills. And when we asked your residents if increased awareness of food waste motivated them to waste less food, an overwhelming majority, 91.3%, said that yes, it did. And we find that when people are able to manage their food waste at home, they become much more aware of how much they waste. And we say that the most effective waste diversion from food is not generate any waste. And though it can be difficult to put this into numbers, the awareness that this program provides is important and likely contributed to the reduction of garbage bags mentioned in the previous slide. So when we asked if your residents were to ask their friends and neighbors to participate in a food cycler program, 91% indicated that their friends and neighbors would participate. And an overwhelming 95.6% of your residents would recommend the food cycler based on their experience. And this slide is pretty self-explanatory. It speaks to the great success of this pilot here. You have 100% of your residents who are going to continue using their food cycler as a solution to their food waste moving forward. And this level of participation really far exceeds any other waste management, organic waste management solution there is out there today. For example, here in Ottawa, where we have curbside green bin pickup, there really is only a 57% participation rate. And when it comes to composting, which is something that anyone who has the space and availability of space to do so, the rates of adoption have been fairly stagnant over the last few decades, and based on the results in your own community, participation is quite low. So the 100% participation rate in your pilot is incredibly encouraging, and it really speaks to the willingness of your residents to adopt this program. And overall, your residents rated the pilot project 4.7 out of 5 stars, with 91% of your residents rated. And it's really accepting all the work that is planned. And this next slide here is just some feedback and that we get from the participants that we'd like to be able to share is constructive feedback about the experience. And to just recap what we discussed, you have been able to, from the 31 food cyclers in your pilot, divert 6 metric tons of food waste from your landfills. Your residents have been able to have a reduction of 0.92 garbage bags per week, equaling 47.8 bags per resident per year being diverted from your landfills. And of your residents are going to continue using their food cycler. And to just give you an idea of what it looks like at a community-wide level, Nelson in British Columbia is the first community to adopt the food cycler as a community-level organics management solution. Some of the resources that we put there in place include partnerships with the local grocery store, where they host a refill station for residents to access carbon pellets for their filters for free. We also have a local repair program. We have bear-proof bins for residents who don't use their byproduct to be able to drop it off. We also have an e-waste recycling program, an extensive education program. So really the possibilities when it comes to what program expansion could be in a community, it's quite endless, and we're always happy to discuss that further with you. And some other next steps in the process is we do have a emissions calculation tool. It allows have a full life cycle analysis of a food cycle organics program. It's a consultative tool. It allows you to assess the impact your community has by eliminating GHG emissions and the significant effect it can continue to have on sustainability efforts. We also have new technology coming in the summer of this year. It is called the Eco3. It will be a 3.5 liter model with a footprint a little bit smaller than that of the FC30. And as one of our early implementation partners, you have first right of refusal for any further Impact Canada funding that comes through. And we just ask that you accept this presentation as information, and we're happy to discuss with staff if there are any next steps you would like to take. So that brings me to the end of my presentation. Are there any questions or comments?
Thank you very much for the presentation. Do any members of council have any questions? Comments? Mayor Robinson?
I just had a comment. I purchased one for my house, and we also have one at my workplace, and everybody loves it. It's fantastic. I have already used some of that compost in my my potted plants in the house, and it does make a huge difference, which I was quite surprised. I wasn't really expecting too much, but a lot of growth over the 1 month period. Again, thank you. I thank the township for offering this program, because I think it is very beneficial, and I'm hoping that I could get my kids onto something like this.
Perfect.
Any further questions from council or comments? All right, well, thank you very much. We appreciate
Thank you
the
for your time.
conversation tonight.
All right. Have a good evening, everyone. Thank you.
All right. 5.1. So the open session minutes of the last regular meeting, May 21, are items 5.1 of the agenda. Are there any errors or omissions? I'm seeing none. And I have a mover and seconder for motion to approve the minutes at item 5.1. All right, Gladden and Councillor Brand. All in favor? Okay. Motion is carried. 6.1, there are no resolutions from other municipalities this evening. 6.2 is the next item for information purposes, only regarding the minutes from the May 7 Chamber of Commerce meeting. Do any members of council have any remarks on this item? Seeing none. 6.3, information purposes regarding a letter from Enbridge Gas on the rate rebasing application. Do any members of council have remarks on this item? Seeing none. Next item is 6.4 for discussion purposes relating to the Top of Lake Superior Chamber of Commerce Awards Banquet sponsorship. Do any members of council have any remarks on this item? Councillor Gladden.
Were we going to sponsor them this year? Is this out for a resolution?
Yes, we're looking for a resolution on this. A resolution or not, it's council's call.
I'm in support of it.
What are we looking at?
Bronze,
Bronze? How much is that?
$250.
All right, so is there a mover and a seconder for a motion to approve a sponsorship of $250 to the Top of Lake Superior Chamber of Commerce 2024 Awards Banquet? Robinson and Smith. All in favor? Okay. All right, motion is carried. Right. Next item at 6.5 is for information purposes only regarding a package from Superior Country and visit to Thunder Bay on Tips to successfully welcome the two SLGTQIA plus guests to your business community. Do any members of council have any remarks on this item? See none. 7.1 is information purposes relating to the May 13th meeting minutes from the Quad Council meeting. Do any member of council have any remarks on this item? Yeah, Sale Filamini.
Sorry, forgot the mic. Just some small direction from my office. And I did reach out to the Nipigon Hospital as directed, so I'm going to be meeting with them further. They're going to provide some information based on the doctor allotment. So also reached out to Superior EMS by email. They did respond back on the request for some kind of a reporting structure. They have committed that they will bring us back something in the near future that will help us in that manner. So those two things are done, and that was just my update from the Quad Council.
Thanks for that. And speaking on that, the reports, the quarterly reports. So the Township of Red Rock and with the other communities are looking for detailed reports, much like we get from the OPP, comparable, something that displays where the ambulances are. So pushing for information, and hopefully we receive it. Thanks for sending that out. Any further comments? Okay, is there a motion, a mover and a seconder for a motion to receive the minutes in the Quad Council? Okay, Smith and Brand. All in favor? All right, motion is carried. All right, next up is 8.1, report on administrative activity. CEO Filamini, do you want to do your report first, and then we can ask questions?
Yeah, certainly I can do that. We kind of start at the summary of activity. I guess it was a lot of online forums with municipal affairs and housing in the last little bit. I attended the Northwestern Ontario CAO Clerks Forum. You'll see the agenda attached, as well as the Northern Ontario Housing and Homelessness Forum. NOMA Learning Morning. So again, it was a lot of virtual. I did also attend the NOMA board meeting representing Red Rock this morning in the city of Thunder Bay. And if we move right on to direction, discussions, and update, if I start at the top with Rock Tech Lithium, they did get back to me based on the request for and I reached back out to them as a follow-up on the request for a community engagement in June. June does not work for them, but they're certainly open to further dates. They suggested maybe late August, early September, based around holiday schedules, etc. And I told them I would talk to council and get their feelings on that. So I could certainly go back to them with that kind of once everyone's done their holiday seasons, etc. So I think early September, I could reach back to them and make that as a potential date.
Anybody have a comment? I agree with the mid-September. I think it's going to be tough, July and August, getting people out for a meeting. But any other thoughts from council? Mr. Glenn?
That's a good idea, I think so. Let the summer go and then get back in the fall.
I will do that. Town hall date. So we did set a save the date for that, July 24th. I believe it's a Thursday. I could be wrong, but if corrected. Yeah. So so that that's kind of the date we have, so we can continue to work on the structure based on that, but I just wanted to highlight that date. Speeding Township of Red Rock, so the AMO conference is I will be attending the speeding Township of Red Rock update. So the speed bumps are ordered, the signage is ordered, the proper signage is ordered, so we should see that in place and installed very shortly. So again, 2 on each street with the proper signage that warns you that bumps are coming and warns you of the bump. So we're moving forward with that at the direction of council.
Councillor Smith?
Just more of a question. I know last time we spoke, you were gonna reach out to the OPP on their opinion on it. I just want to know if there was, if they said that is a good way to go rather than the other options. Just
No, thank you for bringing that up because it was on my notes to highlight, and I did. And his quick response to me was fantastic idea. So yeah, he was very much in support and thought that was a great way to handle it. So thanks again for bringing that up. I had that in my notes and let it go. So
No, that's excellent. You mentioned that too. And Councillor Smith, you know, I'm glad the OPP are in support of this. Again, that road, the people need to slow down on it. We don't need a child getting hit because that's what's going to happen if this keeps up. So slow down. Perfect.
okay. I'll go through, I'll finish it. Budget meeting schedule. So we do have or will have and are very close to having a budget completed by I would say by tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest. So what our plan from the administrative level is to bring it to council in 2 sessions, information session, education piece on the Thursday, June 6th. So this week, we'd bring that to council, go through the budget, go through the education portions of it, how we structure our budget, and then bring it to an open session Monday. So the following Monday. What I can say about it is the education piece is essential because we've kind of brought a new system in and how we're presenting, as well as it might sound strange, but 3 years into my role, it becomes easier to see the flows now of a budget. So there is some changes that you adjust and make along the way. You'd think you could just kind of attack a budget right away in stage 1, but it is a process. And I think we got ourselves and we to a point now that the structure is going to flow a lot better in the future. So we wanted to bring that through. So again, Thursday, June 6th, 6 p.m. here. And then if all goes well and the direction from council is we're going to schedule the open session and the presentation to the public on Monday at 6. So one last piece I'd like to touch on this is, and it's been a bit of a hot topic recently. I just wanted to share admin's piece on it. I don't have it on the report, but if it's okay with the chair, I'd share it. It's the car that's abandoned on Highway 628. So what I can say is we've been working on that for probably a month and a half to 2 months. I believe that's about the time frame it's been in there. So the township has no jurisdiction to remove that vehicle, nor does the OPP. So, but I just wanted to let council know and the public know that this isn't something we've just let sit in the ditch. So we've been working on this, the jurisdiction or the legalities of moving it look like they're moving to MTO, but there's a lot that goes on in the scenes. I mean, I'd love to go pull that vehicle out of the ditch, but I just wanted council and the community to know that we haven't just forgot about a car in the ditch. We've been on it right from day one with both MTO and OPP, and should be removed soon, but I can tell you we can't go remove it, nor can the OPP. So, and that's really all I had from my summary.
All right. Any members of council have any questions for CIO? Councilor Brand?
Just a quick question on the last on the highway. Does the vehicle owner not have a responsibility?
I can't speak to that, but yeah, I guess the best thing to say is I'm not sure, but I can't speak to that.
Any further questions? I'm seeing none. All right, can I have a mover and a seconder to accept the report? Mayor Robinson? So glad. All in favor? Okay. Next item on the report is 8.3. A report on the updated agreement between the Township of Red Rock and Live from the Rock. Do any members of council have any questions for Mr. Figgley? Councillor Smith? I didn't have to look. No, I knew you were going to ask a question.
I just have a kind of a follow-up question from when we originally voted on this. And that is around the usage of the marina and the splash pad during this event to making sure that the residents still have access to our facilities during the Live from the Rock, and we won't be not allowed to use our facilities for that week.
Yeah, so I can update that. I've had a couple of meetings now with representatives from Live from the Rock. And if you look at the sponsorship agreement and under facilities, so would be kind of, if you highlight that last sentence, it is understood that access to the municipal facilities is not to be impaired. This includes the marina, the interpretive center, as well as the splash pad and playground. So what we have been able to discuss, and I must say it's been very easy working with representatives from Live from the Rock. So Dave's in the room. We started a structure last year where we started to meet more regularly around Live from the Rock. I think it really helped. And when I brought this to Dave representing Live from the Rock, it was pretty seamless. We said, listen, this is what we're going to, this is what we want to do, and we made it happen. Now Live from the Rock will manage that at some point. We'll meet again. I think we're scheduling another meeting, but it could simply be a different colored band or for example. So the marina does have use to the community. You want to use the splash pad, the amenities of the marina, that is an option. And we're working together to make sure we do it as seamlessly as we can for this year, for sure. So yes, the answer is yes.
No, and I appreciate that. And my thought isn't of, people taking advantage of it to sit there and listen to music, especially not for me, because I can just do it from my house. But it's more of, if it is a beautiful hot day, I know my kids love to use it. For how short our summers are, I just would not like to waste a single day of it.
Yeah, no, and again, I can say that the relationship between the township and Live from the Rock has been nothing but positive in the discussions, and we're going to make something happen that works good for both sides. And we have, but we just got to iron out the final details of how we're going to distinguish that.
All right, we'll see Councillor Smith in the splash pad Live from the Rock. Perfect. All right. Next item on the agenda, 8.3, it's a report on naming of the ball field, Red Rock, as Dunville Park. Do any members of council have any questions for Mr. Figgley? Councillor Smith?
And I'm sure this has been answered, but again, I fairly new to the city, like everybody, unlike everybody else. Has that been called anything? Is there actually a name for it yet already? Is it just the baseball field? That's all it is, right? Okay. Just curious.
Yeah.
All right, so is there a mover or? Oh, sorry.
And I just maybe wanted to add that, I mean, the process has been an interesting one. I've met with Patsy numerous times. There was some communication around the fact that we're bringing this out in this manner, but it was kept in a confidential manner to protect the fact that they were trying to keep a family secret. So and then there was some miscommunication based on that. I've told Patsy that I'm taking 51% of the blame, and she's accepted 49. She got pretty excited and brought it out to social media in no ill will by any means. She still is very, very excited about and apologized to me numerous times for a couple of things. A, putting it out a little bit early, and B, saying that she's been working with the township for numerous years, you know, at least the last couple of years. And she caught that and said, listen, that's unfair to you as the CAO and the council because we just brought this to you now. So it's been an interesting voyage. She's very excited. The whole family's very excited, and that's why it kind of slipped out a little bit. So like I said, we took a 51-49% share of it, and I took the additional blame.
Mayor Robinson?
And I just want to confirm that Dunville family will be purchasing the sign and that the township's commitment is man hours to install the sign. I'm assuming.
Correct. So all the costs around the sign, around the ceremony, etc. The family has shared with me design of the sign. They're bearing all costs. They've also are planning a ceremony, kind of a reunion and a social at the Legion after, of which they're putting a donation box at the Legion. They really love Red Rock. You know, having a conversation with Patsy was, I mean, it was kind of enlightening. You left it feeling good. So she wants to donate any money she can from this box to Red Rock, and the mayor's correct. Our obligation is to dig a hole and that and put the sign in, and we'll make sure that we do that for them.
All right, excellent. Any further questions or comments? None? Okay, can I have a mover and a seconder for approving the name of the field, Denville Park on Baker Road? Landon Smith. All in favor? All right. Motion's passed, so it'll officially be named Dunville Park. All right, next item at 8.4 is a report on the tree assessment recommendation from Community Development Officer. Do any members of council have questions for Mr. Figliani? Councilor Smith?
Is the expectation from this too, are they gonna give us another quote for any maintenance that needs to be done from this? Or will we, once we get the report back of what needs to be done, what and what not, will we then go back to tender for some other companies to come in and do what needs to be done?
Yeah, so this is exactly that. It's a tree assessment. So it's talking, so this assessment would take into consideration the condition of the trees, I guess, safety, you know, if you were looking at those issues, and then it would lead to future work or recommendations or quotes, I guess, on future work. So when you go, this is a study. It's and it kind of ends there. What I've directed staff at this point with is if we have an issue that's infrastructure related, which we do have quite a few in Red Rock, then it's kind of outside the study, right? I mean, if we have you know, habitual sewer backups, for example, and it's causing a health and safety issue to a family, for example, in their basement, then we handle that, you know, internally based on the decision we need to make for infrastructure. But this study would handle the canopy, the condition of the trees, a plan, or you know, if you remove a tree, you replace it with a tree, the right tree, these kind of issues. A maintenance plan would come out of that as well.
Councilor Gladden?
What's the timeline on this?
Well, it's going, if it's approved by council, I think the timeline is very quick. Why we brought it again in this manner is just to be transparent about the fact that there's no funding for this. There's no outside provincial funding for this. So this would be a levy charge to which we have tentatively included it in a budget with coming for Thursday. So I think the time frame is very quickly. I think they want to get down and get a look at everything. I'm going to say the month of June it'll be done.
Any further questions? See none. So is there a mover and a seconder for a motion to enter an agreement with Tree and Tractor of Thunder Bay to complete consulting services for the development of a tree assessment and maintenance plan for the Township of Red Rock tree canopy in the amount of 9,600 plus HST for a total of 10,848? Right. Gladden Robinson. All in favor? All right, motion is passed. Good to go. Okay. 9, bylaws, we have none. New business, we have none as well. Unfinished business, we have 11.1. So the next item on the agenda is unfinished relating to EMS consolidation, OPP detachment, Red Rock Hockey, M&R Township landfill ownership, and Beer Fest 2025. Does the CAO have any updates on any of these items?
No, they're all ongoing at this time.
Okay. Hope to see you all at Beer Fest 2025. Start the plugs now. All right, so that concludes, it was a good plug, wasn't it? Okay, so we're heading back into closed session now, time being 7:37. We have some unfinished business, so I don't know what to do. Right here. So we have to do the rest after we get out, so we're gonna head back in. So I need a motion to move back into closed session. I knew what to do. I was just kidding. 7:38, we'll head back in and I'll have the report for when we get back. So mover and seconder, all in favor? Okay, motion is carried. All right, thank you. We're back. And my notes are mixed up. We reviewed the final pieces that were on the agenda, as mentioned earlier. Our 13 confirming bylaw. The next item is the bylaw to confirm proceedings of council. Please have a mover and seconder for motion to pass the bylaw. Biden and Smith. All in favor? All right, motion is passed. Next meeting of council will be held on Monday, June 17th. There will be some other stuff coming out, so I can't remember what date you said. June 10th, I believe, we'll have a budget meeting scheduled. June 6th and 10th, there'll be 2 more meetings that will be posted. As the time is now 7:55, we will, and there's no further business to attend, we will declare this meeting adjourned. Thank you and apologize.